So there's been a lot of requests for a Pep tactic lately, and today we are going to have Pep's 2008 Barcelona team. Fantastic results, elegant play, everything you possibly want. Let's get right into it. First up is going to be Barcelona, and I do want to quickly say this is the perfect time to leave a like on the video and consider subscribing because we've got a whole year's worth of content, and do come and check out the streams. We are live basically every single day. Loads of you guys have come over already, and the vibes are immaculate. I'll see you there. But do you know what? With this Barcelona team, we had a sensational season. We really did. With 35 wins, 3 draws, and 0 losses. Lewandowski coming in with 67 goals across all competitions. Also picking up the highest rating. Torres coming in with 31 assists, which is absolutely incredible. And ter Stegen coming in with 96% pass completion. We also scored 123 league goals, conceded just 15, and yeah, 0 red cards. And if that's not enough for you, how about a quadruple? Win the Champions League against Benfica, hats off to them for getting to the final. Also the Spanish Cup against Bilbao and the Super Cup against Madrid. It's a literal perfect season. Over to the league stats, we are going to feature in quite a few of them. Most points per game at 2.84, most goals at 123, most shots at 626, fewest shots against at 139, and most possession coming in at 59%. And obviously, these two at the bottom. Data hub-wise, it's going to look the best of the best, really. 3.24 goals a game, a very low conceded at 0.39, a mixture of being very defensively solid, but also dominating the ball when we have got it. So, if we've got the ball, the other team can't score. Over 16 shots a game, a pass completion of 90.56, and a tackle win ratio going towards the mark of 77%. In terms of the squad, it is going to be the big man, the main man, Robert Lewandowski coming in with 67 goals, obviously getting on now to be fair to him, but still can put the ball in the back of the net. Ferran Torres coming in with 23 goals, Fati had a good season out on loan, Gavi with 15 goals, Araujo coming in with 14 from set pieces and sort of diving up from fullback, so very good from him as well. 13 from Rafinha, we're going to have Felix with 11, we've got Christensen with 8 as well, really showcasing the set-piece speciality. And to be honest with you guys, the assists as well, very, very good. Torres, 31, 28 for Rafinha, 20 for Gavi, 15 for Pedri, De Jong with 13, 11, 9, 9. It's absolutely incredible stuff. And this just shows that this tactic gets everyone involved. It's not just a one-man effort, and that is what we love to see. And now we are going to go over to Manchester City, and I do want to say this very quickly. This is a tactic made for more better teams, hence why we are testing with the teams Pep has managed. Whenever I replicate a manager's tactics, I use the teams he has managed, if he's managed at least 3 teams. So Manchester City, a very good Premier League season, very dominant, obviously 16-point advantage. Erling Haaland, 80 goals across all competitions. Again, highest match rating, Kevin De Bruyne, 38 assists. We scored 117 league goals, conceded only 29, and on this occasion, picking up 1 red card. But in terms of everything else, I mean, we won everything. We did win the Club World Championship, we won the Champions League, we won the Super Cup, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Community Shield. We won 7 trophies in 1 season. Yeah. It's literally perfect. Over to the team stats, I'm very impressed with this as we are going to dominate the stuff you're obviously going to expect. Also, the most shots, the fewest shots against, possession, sometimes not the easiest thing to do in the Premier League because other teams obviously do play that way as well, but dominated that as well with 60%. Fewest conceded at 29. Really, every aspect of the game we're performing well in. Not much to improve. Data hub-wise, we're looking at 3.08 goals per game. Now, I know it is a little bit less than Barcelona, but there are a lot worse teams over in Spain that you can simply stat pad against. 0.76 conceded, again, still way under a goal a game. More than with Barcelona, but again, tougher division. Shots per game, 17.21. Pass completion of 90.19. And a tackle win ratio, very close to 79%. And lastly, over to Bayern Munich, obviously over in the Bundesliga, and we win 31 out of a potential 34 games, 3 draws, 100 goal difference, 96 points, Harry Kane having a masterclass, same with Leroy Sané with 26 assists, 118 league goals, only 18 conceded, 0 red cards, only 33 bookings, and a treble, the Pokal against HSV, and a Super Cup against RB Leipzig. Yeah, this tactic can cook, and I genuinely believe it can also work with sort of mid-table teams as well, but obviously, I will say this again, because I can already see the comments, when I test as a manager, if I can, I test with the teams he has managed. Pep has managed 3 teams, Here we are. And the team stats are almost going to be all in our favour. Most points, most goals, most shots at 565, fewest shots against at 145, most possession at 60%, fewest conceded at 18, and the most clean sheets coming in at 21. Data hub-wise, it's going to look very attractive on the eye. 3.47 goals per game, a conceded at 0.53, a pass completion of 90.55, basically a 79% tackle win ratio, and we're still averaging a very high amount of shots per game. I am going to showcase this game because it is a cup final, and credit to Sunderland for getting here, but unfortunately for them, they weren't really putting up much of a fight, as we do win 9-1 in this cup final, getting off to a very lively start from Kyle Walker, playing it into Rodrigo, back into Walker, and how about that for a surprise element from the main man himself? And to be fair to Sunderland, at some point in this game, they did get a goal, but they never really did compete against us, as we get a little bit lucky there with the sort of tackle deflection, but we're going to take it, a very comfortable 3-0 beginning, as it is now going to be Foden down the right-hand side, back into Walker, into Nunes, and when you got players that can crack a ball like that, you're going to be winning cup finals. This is their goal, to be fair. A bit of a scrappy one, you know, from a set piece. It gets played back into the mixer, onto the edge, into Bar, and I feel like that was right at Edison, but it did have some power, so maybe I want to cut him a little bit of slack. But on the right-hand side here, I want you to pay attention, because we are going to have Phil Foden, obviously, with great options in the box, but also I like this role here. Now, this is going to be your sort of attacker midfield player role, not that exact role, but the most far pushed up midfielder, and he always makes great cutback options. And Phil Foden on this occasion does go into the box, but just having him options on the edge is always a good bailout option, if that's a way of wording it. Kyle Walker again out on the right-hand side, into Foden, back into the middle, into Nunes. And I will say this guy was surprisingly good. And not saying he's bad in real life, but he was a lot better than what I thought he would be in the game. And again, outside of the box, we're seeing a lot of good goals in this game, I will say that, as we are going to go again, as we love to do so, with Phil Foden on the right-hand side, a lot getting done from this right-hand side. Again, another deflection, but realistically, it was going to go on target anyway, as De Bruyne now goes to the left to Guardio, little cutback into Nunes, into the middle, into Foden. That's what he does. And I will show this game as well. This is going to be one of the Spanish Cup finals against a very strong Bilbao side, and they do actually go 1-0 up here, as we are going to see. It's a great bit of play, to give them credit, but the real drama come in the extra time. So we were lucky enough to get an equaliser here with some great pass and play into Rafinha, linking it up through the middle, driving it back inside into João Felix, of all people. Obviously a very good player in real life, but we seem to come alive in this game. Obviously this is now in extra time, and we scored obviously 3 goals in this stint of the game. A great through ball from Pedri into Lewandowski. It's a good initial challenge, but unfortunately for them, Gundogan is a player that does lurk on the edge, and he gets a very good goal there to make us obviously go back into the lead, and we just kept capitalising. Unai Simon there with one of the very few mistakes you see from a keeper of his calibre, and Lewandowski just a bit of individual quality. It's a very good cup final. But now, of course, to your favourite part of the video, the tactic breakdown. I do want to quickly say this is the perfect time to smash that like button. So definitely get involved, and please consider definitely subscribing, because we've got a year's worth of content. And again, if you like live streams, there's no better place than the one we've got going on, because the vibes are unmatched. We've got a banger of an Ipswich save going on at the moment, where we're fighting for a Champions League win. So definitely get involved, because it's going to be a big one, trust me. But let's go over and break down this tactic. So the goalkeeper is simply going to be on defend, no additional instructions. The fullback on the right is going to be on support, on dribble more, and get further forwards, so quite an aggressive right back there. A ball-playing defender on the right on defend, on tackle harder, matched with a ball-playing defender on exactly the same instruction with that additional tackle harder. Now with this, I've noticed that they obviously are going to get a lot more stuck in. This doesn't mean they're always going to give away fouls all the time. It can have that risk element, so depending on how good your centre-back is with his decision-making, etc., is very relative to if you should use this or not. So I'll leave that up to you, but for me, the teams we obviously played with being quite good players at the back, it worked really, really well. A fullback on the left, on support, on dribble more, and get further forwards, and that is going to complete your back four. So quite an aggressive sort of back four, to be honest with you, but it's not to the point where we conceded loads of goals. Obviously, a lot of these players are going to be on support, so you're not going to overcommit too much in this system. You're very well with possession as well. So you can afford to have your fullbacks going up the field a little bit. Over to the midfield, we're going to have a deep lying playmaker coming in simply on support on the default instructions, a central midfield player coming on support on pass it shorter, dribble more, and roam from positions, and also moving into channels. So a very sort of roamy sort of, moving into channels based player, as it says on the tin. He's going to drift into all different pockets of space, and essentially he is there to keep that shorter passing style there. Make it happen, drift in, pick up the ball, move it about side to side, and have really good levels of possession and keep that really high pass completion. And Mezzala finishes off the midfield free, simply on attack, on pass it shorter. On the right-hand side, an inverted winger comes in, on support, again on pass it shorter. And on the left-hand side, an inside forward on support, on pass it shorter. So a lot of players are going to be on that instruction, and that is to maintain that real good level of possession. And if you are playing in some of the other leagues, sort of like the Scottish League, for example, where it's quite easy to dominate the ball, you can easily get 70%. And I mean that with full conviction. You can genuinely get 70% of the ball in majority of your games playing like this. And to finish it off, it is going to be the advanced forward simply coming in on attack, on shoot more often. And that is going to complete your player instructions. Let's go to the team. So, in possession, by the way, this is based off a custom tiki-taka style on a positive mentality. A positive mentality. The width is going to remain exactly the same. We're going to overlap left and also overlap right while playing out from the back. We are also going to go with a much shorter passing directness alongside of a slightly higher tempo. To finish this off, we're going to go with the mixed crosses, work ball into the box, dribble less, and also be more expressive. And that is going to give you the perfect mixture of sort of getting the fullbacks involved, maintaining a very short passing style, not being too overcommitted as well, but having enough in you to be expressive to get goals. As you saw, we scored quite a good amount of goals, to be honest with you. So definitely worth sticking to this. And I do want to quickly say as well, thank you to all of the wonderful names coming on the stream right now. These are going to be new or existing Patreon members. Patreon is a great way to support this channel. You get over 8 perks. There's getting on towards 800 people signed up to it right now, so definitely worth checking out. You get early tactic release, you get access to all 3 of the tactical files, you get early video release, you get priority in your rebuild and your tactic requests, one-on-one tactical help, giveaways, and much more. Go and check it out. The link's going to be in the description and also should be in the comments. But let's go over to the in transition. Transition, a couple of things are going to be selected. So we are going to have a counter-pressing style alongside of playing to anyone across that back line while taking short goal kicks. Now, out of possession, we are going to go with a high pressing line of engagement, a standard line more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So nice and simple. Just to showcase us going up against our real bitter rival in the Bundesliga, obviously Borussia Dortmund is going to be Konrad Laimer actually just running the show. And look how far Cabell was off his... I mean, that was very weird positioning from the goalkeeper, but we've got to take it. It's now going to be Alphonso Davies on the left-hand side. He's completely destroying that back line into Sané in the middle. Defence should be out jumping Sané in my opinion, but we're going to take the goal anyway as Sané again into Musiala. Little back heel there into Sané. And if you want elegance, look no further. And I'm showcasing this because I think this is the worst way any team can lose a final. Against Hertha Berlin, you can see where the goal come in right at the end of the game. And we actually got off to a very good start here. Just before half-time, it's going to be a great set piece from Kimmich. They do get back into the game where credit is due. In the 75th minute, a great ball over the top. Was he offside? Probably not, but I thought he was for a second. But look how we won the game. So it is going to be an own goal. It's a great build-up to get to the point. Like, we're spreading the ball about really well. We put a ball into the box, Alphonso Davies, and it's absolute heartbreak for them. Now, going over to the attacking variant. Now, this can be used to either go in against underdogs or for when you are desperate for a goal in a game. The keeper is going to remain the same. The fullback is now going to be on dribble more, run wise, and get further forwards. Both ball-playing defenders remain exactly the same, and the fullback on the left is going to be exactly the same as the right back. So to clarify, a fullback on support on dribble more, run wise, and get further forwards. The midfield is going to be a little bit different, but somewhat similar. The deep lying playmaker remains the same because, again, I don't really need to change this because he already makes very progressive passes. A central midfield player comes in on attack, on pass it shorter, dribble more, roam from position, and move into channels. But because he's on that attack and roll now, he is going to get further forwards. And a Mezzala is going to come in on attack, on pass it shorter, and obviously the lovely range of default instructions. On the left, an inside forward on attack, on pass it shorter, shoot more often, and sit narrower. And on the right-hand side, an inverted winger on them same instructions. So now we're going to have two inverted wingers that are permanently going to be sitting narrower, meaning that the fullbacks have got loads of space to overlap and really get stuck into the game. And the advanced forward is going to be exactly the same on attack, on shoot more often. Over to the team instructions. Again, we are going to have it on positive. It's going to be overlap left, overlap right, play out from the back, the much shorter passing. We've maxed out the tempo on this occasion, and we have got rid of the dribble less because we want the players to now have a bit more of a freedom to go out and really get that goal. So we've unticked that. We've got to be more expressive on work ball into the box and mixed crosses. So we've removed a little bit maybe of that sort of tiki-taka style, removing that dribble less. But if you are trying to get goals, you might need to sacrifice that. Transition, one simple change, that is simply going to be distribute quickly, because we're really trying to get the ball moving. Now, if you are going into a game like this, you don't need this on, obviously, but if you are desperate for a goal, you definitely need it on. Possession, there are going to be a couple of changes. That higher defensive line is going to be the real big one. More often on the trigger press, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and also get stuck in. Very aggressive, a higher line, getting stuck in, getting the players up the field. It's going to be goals. So, and now we've got a default variant, /underdog. Now, this was made for you guys that do play as smaller teams, or maybe you're trying to seal out a game. And it's quite easy, to be fair. It's very simple. So, the goalkeeper, both fullbacks, both centre-backs are all literally on the default instructions. So, goalkeeper defend, ball playing defender defend, fullback simply on support. A very risk-free back line and goalkeeper. We then introduce a DM on support, on pass it shorter, hold position, tackle harder, and also mark tighter. A central midfield player comes in on support, on pass it shorter, and a Mezzala remains on attack, on pass it shorter. So again, a very sort of risk-free midfield. We've secured the back line by having a DM now instead of that deep line playmaker, so someone to protect the back line as well. On the left-hand side, we've got an inside forward on support, simply on pass it shorter, and on the right, an inverted winger on support, on pass it shorter. And to finish it off, a deep lying forward on support, on shoot more often. Now again, very player-based. If you're playing as an underdog team, your striker has got awful finishing, I would not recommend you have this instruction on. But again, it comes down to who you have in that position. And now over to the team instructions, we're going to have a balanced mentality. We are simply going to have play out from the back, much shorter, a slightly lower tempo, a lot more friendly on the players, dribble less, work ball into the box, and also mixed crosses. In transition, we're going to have counter press, slow the pace down, distribute to the fullbacks and the centre-backs while taking short goal kicks. Possession, a very risk-free tab on this one. A standard line, the high presser line of engagement, standard on the press, and we're going to maintain that goalkeeper short pressing because we can force a lot of errors out of the opposition. But that is going to give you guys 3 variants of Pep's 2008 Barcelona, and as always, keep the comments coming. What you want to see on the channel usually gets done. If not, I put it in a poll and we vote if you want to see it or not. And if you guys have enjoyed, smash the like button. It helps the video out massively. It really does. And definitely subscribe as well. And if you enjoy the content on here, you're going to love the live streams. Come over to the live streams. It's going to be on the screen right now and in the description. We're live almost every single day with top content. It really is top stuff. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, here are going to be a couple more videos I'm sure you're going to love. Down here, you're going to see my previous video, and here is going to be a video I personally recommend for you guys to check out. Trust me, you're going to love it.